Hey everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ben.
Today we're going to talk about Superman, Son of Superman, written by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, with art by a myriad of talented current working artists today, including Patrick Gleason, Doug Mahnke, and Jorge Jimenez. Or Jorge Jimenez, whatever you want to say. Jimenez, yeah.
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez, I would say.
That works. This is the first volume in an ongoing story that's happening right now in DC Comics. It's part of the DC Rebirth epic that's happening.
Wow, really?
Yeah. This
is
just finished.
Right after Convergence, or
This is right after, like, 2 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Topical.
Yeah, no. Convergence was actually the birth mother of this Superman, but you'll find as we go that they distance themselves further and further away from that convergence to the point where it becomes wholly irrelevant, just like it usually is.
Right.
Okay, a little bit of context. You can feel free to look through these while we go.
Go ahead.
But
I always get way too distracted.
it's true. You're like, look at this guy. I'm like,
You're like, shut up about that. I'm trying to tell a story.
I'm trying to tell a story here. Make a whimsical comment.
Yeah, but tell me about this man.
Tell me about this one
Who
specific.
is he?
He's literally a side character. He means nothing.
Oh.
Well, let
Damn
me
it.
make up a backstory for him. The context is Superman, New 52, right? 2011, DC's irrelevant. Let's reboot everything because studies have statistically shown that if we reboot everything, we will increase sales by 200%. And what's most frustrating is that they're pretty accurate about that. Yeah, it works. And so, as such, the New 52 was an unmitigated success. Everybody agrees that it was, sales-wise, a success. The one thing that nobody liked, and except for the one guy in our comments who always comments this, is Superman.
Right.
Who was young, and he screws up, and his parents are dead, and he's just like a downer. It's just like Superman returns, only he's also a dick.
Right.
Like, but more so than Superman Returns, where he's just a peeping Tom and an absentee father. So really, he's
And more so than Man of Steel.
no.
Even there's no Superman that's a bigger dick
than Man of Steel, because the New 52 Superman is the least put upon than Man of Steel Superman. It's just, oh, I guess I'll be your savior. Mom, should I be? Who gives a shit? The human race doesn't deserve you. Fair enough.
I would even posit that the Superman, I think it's Superman 3 or Superman 4. When he gets split into two.
That's Superman 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even that Superman is
less
less
of
of
a
a
dick
dick than Man of Steel.
Well, that Superman at least isn't responsible for the deaths of thousands of people. When they started doing the DC Rebirth, the one thing that they all kind of agreed on was that Superman's got to go. And after Convergence, when they established that, like, everything that you liked had its own universe, including pre-Flashpoint, its own city right over there, look. And Superman's there. And because they were under a dome on Telos, Superman was depowered for a time, and so as such he was able to bang Lois, which is always a subject of much contention on this couch as to how Superman can impregnate Lois without murdering her. And I always, make the assumption that he slows it down, so that he doesn't. And I'm not talking about the velocity through which semen,
that's the problem.
Comes out of his. He just pulls out. He just does the method that everyone thinks is effective, but in fact is not. Kids out there, it's not the most effective at all.
No,
don't think that that's a thing.
Even artificial insemination is better.
Yeah,
that could work.
I'm just saying, but like, anyway, the point being is that like he's basically human, so he's able to actually have sex with Lois, and he's
like, woo!
Yeah, and she gets pregnant, and throughout Convergence, she's pregnant until Lois gives birth in Flashpoint Batman's Batcave, and Thomas Wayne delivers John.
Because he's a doctor.
Because he's a doctor.
Granted, Batman could do it anyway.
Yes. Because he's got the hands of a safecracker or a concert pianist.
Or a surgeon.
That's right.
Which version of Superman are we talking about?
We're talking about pre-Flashpoint real Superman.
Okay. So Superman.
Yeah, John Byrne's Superman from Man of Steel from like 1987. That's Superman.
Okay.
To stop Crisis on Infinite Earths from happening, that Superman and a number of other characters, including Lois and their son, go back in time and presumably stop the Anti-Monitor's shenanigans and allow the multiverse to exist.
So we never see it.
Exactly. Don't worry, we never see that, even though it would have been awesome to see. But anyway, then they arrive on New 52 Earth.
How do they get there?
Yeah, right? So they get there, and then they get there at the inception of the heroes. So Superman, now on this Earth, he is superpowered again, and he's like watching the New 52 Justice League form and fight Darkseid.
So they go back in time?
Yeah, they wind up back in time.
Oh.
On this other planet.
Well, I guess
or this
they're
other
from
reality.
another universe, so
Precisely.
just going to a different time isn't that much of a stretch.
No.
All right.
So, and that Superman, he like sees the formation of the Justice League in Justice League Origin, which we actually did a back issues on, which you can click the bar card above Vince head to see. But anyway, the retcon is that real Superman was there the whole time and was like, let's see what they can do. And if they can't handle it, I'll step in. But they do, and then he's like, okay, this Earth is okay, they don't need me. And so he...
Yeah, but wouldn't the Earth be better off with 2 Supermen?
Yes. And in fact, he does manage to do Superman stuff. He just wears a black uniform, not unlike his resurrection suit, which he wears in the Return of Superman, or Reign of the Superman, which we did a back issues on, which you can click the card above Ben's head to see.
Yeah. Or like Zod.
Or like Zod. So he wears this black suit, and he grows a big beard, and he fights like natural disasters and stuff.
It's not a big bushy beard, is it?
It's a great big bushy beard. But he fights natural disasters and stuff. He is Superman on the sly. And so Lois and Superman raise their son, and the reason that they go back in time is so that when we get to the present of the New 52, or DC Rebirth, John is around 11.
You mean John is the age that Clark was when he started developing superpowers? And...
I mean, more or less, yeah. He's around the age where it's interesting to write about him.
Not
otherwise,
like 4.
Super Toddler sucks.
So, New 52 happens for 11 years?
Yeah, but it technically happened for 5, but there's a missing 5 years. Thanks to DC Rebirth.
Right, okay.
And that's a mystery that hasn't been solved yet, so we have to just take it at face value for now.
Okay.
Yeah, but that sucks because there's so much that happened
Yeah,
in
I know.
5
Well,
years.
and the big reveal is that the New 52 Earth is the same Earth as the old Earth. Mm-hmm. It's always been the same.
Sure.
It's just that, like, the window dressing shifted.
Yeah, well, because, like, it was created by, like, a
Flashpoint, by a time travel story, so it wasn't an alternate reality. Yeah, but Convergence says that it was a different one.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's its own planet. It's the same original place. So all the things still happen, all the time still happen, but like some things have, erased memories or prevented, people from remembering. There's a whole bunch.
And certain things have happened differently too.
Yes. So anyway, in this story, we basically establish our Superman as the one true or as the new Superman, because the New 52 Superman dies in a previous story arc. He is taken off the table with extreme prejudice, where they're like, "You don't like him? Well, then he explodes." And as the radiation goes into New 52 Lois Lane and New 52 Lana Lang, and they become Superwoman, they both have superpowers, and then New 52 Lois, she dies too! Because we have old Lois now, and that'll be confusing, so that's the end of her, and then Lana Lang, Clark's old girlfriend, but not this Clark, because he's from the other timeline, is the only one who survives, and she's got superpowers, and that's a whole other story arc in DC Rebirth. So
Superman's radiation,
somehow
was imprinted
onto them. Some part of him imprinted onto them.
Imprinted onto them.
Yeah,
even though that's not how radiation works.
It does. It's his. Well, in fact, as it turns out.
Well, that's one of his powers, right? Because he gets all these.
He gets a solar flare that can. He can express solar radiation.
Yeah, and one of his powers is that he can explode and give his powers to someone else.
Right.
Superman has many powers.
What they retconned in after that is that there is no such thing as New 52 Superman.
What?
That when the Flashpoint, or whatever is controlling the situation of DC Rebirth, happened, Superman was split in twain. And that became New 52 Superman. And the other part was our Superman.
Even though he's still all of himself.
Yes. So when New 52 Superman dies and goes away, and then our Superman shows back up, and he's like, "What up?" They're like, everyone in the world's like, "You're not Superman." Our Superman is like, I don't know, 10 years younger and like an idiot.
He wears a stupid
And he wears a stupid collar, and he's got like
a piping
armor for no reason. So,
even though his skin is armor.
Yes. Yeah, literally Superman's armor is his flesh. He doesn't need Kryptonian battle armor. That's why he wears an outfit that his mother made him. So anyway, but I'm getting ahead of myself, because all that is later. In this, we're just establishing that pre-Flashpoint Superman is trying to integrate himself into this new world.
Right.
And he's establishing himself as the new Superman. He's like, listen, I'm not trying to replace the old Superman, but I am Superman, and I don't want you to know.
Replacing him.
De facto replacing, but I'm not like, I didn't want him to die. I would have been more than happy to have two Supermen.
I'm not like supplanting him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know that you're safe, because I'm here.
Right.
There will always be a Superman.
And I'm better than him anyway.
And he doesn't say that,
There will always
but
be a
we're
Superman
all saying it.
Until I explode too.
Right, which I never will, because I don't suck and am irrelevant. So, anyway, Superman, in this continuity, he and Lois and John actually wind up moving to, like, a farm. Okay. And they live the simple life. And Lois winds up, because she misses her life as the Daily Planet ace reporter, she writes, like, expose novels about, like, Intergang and stuff under the title Author X.
Was Lois split in half, too?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't, there's no other way they could do it.
Nope.
But I know this is not what this is about, but my brain is just trying to, like, pull it all together.
Yeah.
The explanation, if
the original explanation was that this world had a doppelganger,
right.
And the doppelganger showed up, and coincidentally, the old doppelgangers died, and the real doppelgangers are here, or the real articles are here. So like, Superman and Lois are here, and their phony baloney doppelgangers are dead.
Even though technically everyone else on this planet would technically be a doppelganger
of Superman's old reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they're like, wait a minute, we also want to, like, retcon stuff. So later they're going to just say, no, as it turns out, like, you don't even know what happened. It wasn't even convergence and stuff.
Everything that we told you about the convergence, that was all bullshit?
Yes!
That's not really where Superman and Lois came from?
Nope. They were always there, and they were split, and then when they recombine, his memories get, like, reconfigured into a retconned version of Superman's secret identity, which was a retcon of Superman's origin in, like, 2007 or whatever.
Wait, Superman recombines with himself?
Yeah, like, okay, the spirit of, or the energy essence of the New 52 Superman...
Like goes
into Superman.
Oh. So he can be both. So when people, like, talk to him...
Well, his memories get reconfigured as a result of that, and so here's the thing. John is now born at the Fortress of Solitude, and Superman delivered him. And a bunch of other random stuff that they'll get to later.
How did he come into being if he wasn't...
He was always there. And
how did Superman impregnate Lois if he didn't lose his powers?
He just slowed it down.
Oh, okay.
That shitty Kryptonian battle armor, he wore that for a little while. Like, everything in the New 52 Superman stuff that you liked, except for the relationship between him and Wonder Woman, happened. So, like...
Because Superman is the perfect husband. He would never cheat on Lois.
Yeah, so they're just really good friends. And all the stories...
What the hell?
As I understand it, the world gets their memories reconfigured as well, so Wonder Woman probably doesn't remember it either.
Wow, alright.
God, that sucks.
Well, also, retcons. Now he's not pre-Flashpoint Superman. Now he's always been our Superman, but with some added changes. Like, no, guys, quiet. Like, he fought Doomsday, and he wore the red trunks, and he had the mom and dad, but they still died a while ago.
Why? Damn it.
So
I guess they can't bring them back.
I guess not, except you could by just saying,
they just walk out from behind a curtain and they're like, I was alive the whole time.
Well, the way you could do that is because when Mixia-Spitlick comes back, that's the catalyst for getting the retcon, and he could be like, I was hiding them. You could just say anything, but no, I still want Superman to be a little bit like Batman, so his parents are dead.
Well, this way they can bond
like
over
Batman,
stuff.
right? Yeah.
Well, they already bond over their mutual aversion to crime and
the name Martha.
And you know what's funny? They've never done that in the comics, and it's so obnoxious.
Not a thing.
For all the retconning,
right?
It was he's old school Superman,
and Superman is dead. Other Superman's dead.
Yep.
And this one's like trying to figure out
how to integrate himself into this world.
All
right. So what's happening here?
Superman and Lois are raising John, and John's powers are just kind of beginning to come into play. He can't fly, and his heat vision is about to come into being.
Okay.
And we meet John Smith, because originally I think that their names were the Whites. They named themselves after Perry White.
Okay.
And then when they moved to Hamilton County, they named themselves the Smiths. And so, anyway, when the retcon,
they don't leave a paper trail.
Yeah. So when the retcon happens, they take the name Kent.
Okay.
And then he's Jonathan Kent. Anyway, so we meet John, and John's just like a hopeful boy who's like really proud of his father because he knows his dad is like the real Superman.
Right.
So,
but he's not inundated with this knowledge that there was a different Superman.
He knows there was a Superman on this planet. Like, he told them about it and everything, but like he doesn't remember it.
Right. He wasn't present for all that. Yeah.
So as far as he's concerned, that's Superman. Superman's gonna leave. He's gonna go do some shit, and he's like, John, don't use your damn powers.
Just don't.
So John's like, okay.
I love how you phrase that. Like, I have had enough of this. Well, stop using your damn powers.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, I know that you're going to, but try your best. So then the cat, like, gets out, and John's like...
vaporizes it.
He does, because, like, there's this hawk that goes down, and it tries to kill the cat, and then John, like, tries to use heat vision to take out the hawk, and he just burns both of them. And then and then the cat's, like, charred, smoking corpse lands before his feet, and he just cries and runs back. And then, like...
I thought that was a freaking barn on fire.
No, that's a dead cat.
That's a dead cat.
Oh my god.
And he's like, oh man. And then he looks across the way from this wheat field, and he sees this little girl named Kate who saw the whole thing.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, oh my god, I blew everything.
No, I got a vaporize her too.
Yeah, exactly.
No witnesses.
So he goes to the back to the farm.
Batman taught him well.
Yeah, he didn't meet Batman yet, but he goes to the farm, and and I think the idea was he was like, Dad, like, you and I can rebuild the barn or whatever. We can do some stuff together, and we'll use our powers when you're here to supervise me. And then Superman's like, okay, you ready to do some chores? And he's like, you know what, Dad, why don't you just do it yourself? I really shouldn't use my powers. You were totally right. For totally unrelated reasons.
By the way, where's Bitsy?
Yeah, he does say, like, where's the cat? And he's like, I don't know. So then he leaves.
Oh, no.
And and you're like,
this is really sad.
What about this girl who saw everything?
She comes to the house, and she's like, hey, I just wanted to see how John was doing.
Okay. And
he's like, oh, I'm good. Nixnay on the Atk. And then she leaves, and they get into this fight, like, as a family, where he's like, this is bullshit, that we gotta, like, hide who we are from the world, and we gotta, like, keep in secret, and, like, maybe if I had, like, known how to use my powers, I wouldn't be fucking up with them.
I wouldn't have just killed the cat.
Wouldn't have burned some wheat. And Superman,
John,
by the way...
you high?
Superman
Burn
knows...
some wheat?
You burning wheat with that Kate girl?
You sure you're a dealer?
John's feeling like shit, and he goes to bed, and then he hears some noises outside, and when he looks out the window, he sees Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman all talking, and they all hear him and look up at his window, and he's like, go! And then hides.
Superman's like, that doesn't work on me, son. You know I can see into this house.
Yes.
Super hearing.
And then Superman appears in his bedroom door, and he's like, let's go.
Oh.
And he's like, oh, where? So then...
Your punishment. We found out about that cat.
Superman knew about the cat. Don't worry.
I called Batman in.
Yeah, and
he's forensic.
Batman, I found this corpse. He's like, we'll have to analyze it with science. Also, it's
Wonder Woman brings in the lasso. Tell me the truth!
Yeah, he didn't burn, by the way, the collar, so all Batman would have to do is go, is your cat's name this? Yeah, it's dead.
It looks like it was incinerated in like a half a second.
Did you do it? No. Then it was your son. Case closed. See you later. Pat Blaine. So Superman takes John out on like a father-son trip.
Okay.
And so, and they're talking about their powers and stuff like that. And John basically admits, like, I killed the cat with my crappy superpowers. He doesn't do that until later, but he is like, he's like feeling really bad, and he's feeling really guilty, and his dad's just like being Superman and his father. And it's a cool little moment because, like, we don't get to see a lot of scenes of Superman being a father until now, and now we're going to see what kind of father Superman is. And the kind of father Superman is doting and overprotective.
Well, it's the last of his kind.
Yeah.
And John's kind of like him.
Yes. So Superman hears some distress up in the Arctic, and he tells the League, and he calls them the League, but it's just Batman and Wonder Woman. And Green Lantern's like, damn it. But he tells Batman and Wonder Woman,
my movie ruined everything.
I'm gonna handle it with my son. So then they go, and there's this big octopus monster.
Oh.
And it is attacking this little town, and so Superman is volunteering to stop it.
Okay.
And so and by the way, the people of the town are like, hey there, new Superman, older Superman, what's up? He's like, listen, like, forget all that. Like, I'm not
just
it's
Superman.
Just
Thanks.
I'm here to help you. Is what you. It doesn't matter what you call me. Just, you know, I'm here to help. So then Superman tries to fight the monster alone, and then he can't. The monster's too strong. So then John.
I'm sorry. The monster's
in.
too strong for Superman.
Well, it's just he's fighting it here, and there's tentacles everywhere, and all the tentacles
trying to
are
save
strong.
these people on the sub.
Exactly.
There's
He's trying to do too many things at once. So he's
there's
like
a sub.
Yeah, there's a submarine.
The octopus is attacking the submarine.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
So Superman fights the monster.
He doesn't call it the League, be like, you know what, this was a mistake.
I should actually handle
Could
this.
you actually help a little bit?
He was looking for a reason to have like an experience with his son.
Why doesn't he have John help him?
Well, because at first he's like,
just watch Daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch me use my powers responsibly. Also, I don't want these people to see a Superboy with me and think like I have a son and then put all the pieces together.
Right.
So then eventually Superman is like, okay, I gotta like drive this thing back into the sea. So he's like, John, use your heat vision. And he's like, heat vision? But I don't have any heat vision. Just use it. And then he's like, I can't shoot it. It'll shoot you. And he's like, I could take it, son. So then he rips off his winter coat, revealing this fun Superboy hoodie that he's wearing. And I love it. I love the design for Superboy. It's just torn jeans and a neat Superboy hoodie.
Yep.
Right?
Okay.
So then he blasts the octopus and Superman with his heat vision, and it actually winds up hurting Superman. Turns out John's heat vision is a little stronger. But anyway, he's like, I can take it, son. You got to just pour it on. He's blasting him with his heat vision, which works out because like John clearly doesn't know how to use less of his heat vision than use more of it.
He's like Cyclops.
Yeah. So then he blasts the octopus and Superman, and it works. And the octopus goes away, and Superman's like, nice.
Why didn't Superman just shoot it with his heat vision?
Well, because he needs to hold it in place.
Why didn't they talk to Aquaman?
You know, that's a great question.
It's a goddamn
And they
octopus.
don't do it. He's just like, so how'd you know that I had heat vision? He's like, when we use our heat vision, it emits a smell in the ozone, and I can sense it, and I smelled it near the barn. So I knew you used it. And he's like, I killed the cat. And he's like...
It's obviously you killed the cat.
I know, and you feel bad, and he's like, and you feel bad about it. He's like, you have to tell your mother what you did and own it and fess up to it. And he's like, do you think she'll be mad? And he's like, I think she'll be proud of you, not for killing the cat, but for fessing up to it, for being honest.
She'll actually be very upset about the cat.
Yes,
that was her favorite cat.
Yeah. But by the way, while John was fighting the monster, he does wind up getting cut, and so his blood fell onto the ice, and then this signal is picks up the blood and then sends it into space.
What?
It's an old Superman villain, but rebirthed. Like it's the new 50. It's technically the new 52 version of this character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Lois and Superman and John bury the cat as a family, and then Lois.
What's left of it?
Yeah, the charter remains. And then Lois puts like some cold packs and some like bandages on Superman's back, and she's like, "Holy shit! Like he burned you." He's like, "Yeah,
he's pretty awesome, isn't he?
Pretty powerful."
Look at my son.
Exactly. Look what he did to his old man.
Oh God, I'm not as powerful as I was.
So
when Superman has a midlife crisis,
yeah, he's like, "Oh my God,
I have to get myself a fast car or something."
Yeah,
we gotta play basketball real quick, and I have to destroy you.
So
catch this one, John.
Oh, you couldn't catch it. Looks like your old man can teach you a few things. So then John and Kate become friends.
Okay.
Out of all this, and because they're neighbors.
You know, what does he tell her about the cat?
She's like, I'm not going to tell anybody that you incinerated the cat.
So she's cool.
She's cool.
He's like, it's okay. I already told other people.
Yeah, don't worry.
My parents.
No, she didn't tell anybody.
Don't tell the town.
And he didn't. His parents don't know that she knows, right?
He kept that shit to himself.
He's still not telling the whole truth.
Yeah, but listen, like you're a kid. Kids do this all the time. That's part of being an adult.
So Kate's an android or an alien or somehow tied
right
to the
now.
evil part?
So far, she's just a kid. Her grandfather, however, has a nefarious mystery surrounding him, and we won't get into it. But John.
My name's Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, that'd be great. But no, so. Kate and John are like in a tree and they're just talking, and then the branch breaks and John falls and he gets rendered unconscious.
Jesus, that thing breaks like no branch has ever broken before in a tree.
It just explodes in
it does. So then Kate calls her grandfather. Her grandfather brings John over to the Smith house, and he's like, "Your son's unconscious. He fell." And Superman's like, "He fell and he's unconscious?" Like, that's suspicious.
That can't be.
And he's like, we got to take your son to the hospital. He's like, no, we're going to handle it here.
Yeah.
And he's like, your son fell and he is unconscious. We have to take your son to the hospital. And he's like, I said my son is fine.
He's just sleeping.
Yeah.
What you doing?
But my son. So he's like, and this is where, like, he's kind of un-Superman-y, but, like, it's just basically because we've never seen Superman be an overprotective father before. So he's like, I said I've got him. Thank you.
And also, like, try and be secretive, I guess.
He's not being, like, open and honest, and he's also being, like...
Even though John's wearing a freaking Superman hoodie.
Yeah, well,
he's
all the
a big
kids
fan.
Yeah, he is. All the kids are wearing it.
Yeah.
Kate's grandfather is a dairy farmer, and when the Smiths moved to Hamilton County, he immediately made friends with them and hand delivers, like, the milk to the family. And there's a mystery there because John can't fly, and his powers start to become, like, less significantly, like, strong. And it's only after he started drinking this, like, special milk that this neighbor keeps bringing over. And so the neighbor is doing something.
Oh.
And we don't, and that's part of the current story that's happening right now in Superman.
Okay.
So John's lactose intolerant, and he never knew.
Yeah, that's right. So, the creature or being that grabs the DNA sample of John goes right to the Fortress of Solitude, jumps into the computer, and then grows a body of the Eradicator from Reign of the Superman.
Yes!
I love that face!
Yeah. Oh. Well, because he looks exactly like the Eradicator from Reign of the Superman, but he's technically like a rebirth version of the Eradicator. This one was a... like... There was an Eradicator fleet of robots that were designed by General Zod to find Kryptonian ne'er-do-wells, suck their souls out of their bodies and store them, and put their soulless, unconscious bodies into cryo-storage until their trials.
I'm sorry, you're telling me that souls exist?
Yes, and they can be
sucked out from you.
Yeah,
by a machine.
Yeah, they can be contained and measured by machines.
Now, is that what split? Was it like Superman
it's
being
not his
split
soul.
from his soul?
I mean, like, you could argue that because it's very poorly explained. So, the Eradicator did that, and then when he returns from, like, wherever he was doing his eradicating, Krypton itself was eradicated, and so he's been, like, kind of scouring...
Searching for souls.
Yeah, he's been scouring the cosmos looking for more Kryptonians to protect.
You don't understand, I have to suck.
Yeah, he sucks all right.
Don't
worry.
Was that the original backstory for
no, it was not.
Because I don't remember any of that.
No, this is a new rebirth version that looks just like the old Eradicator that this Superman would remember looking like.
Okay.
So
is this Superman going to be all confused? Like, hey,
yeah,
you're the Eradicator from that time that I died?
Yes.
You're the robot that blasted someone's head out.
Yeah, no, that's the robot Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw.
Oh.
Or his own counterpart.
You don't remember Eradicator Superman because he didn't do anything.
He did die.
Wait, no, Robot Superman blasted Eradicator Superman's head. Wasn't that it?
He blasted Eradicator Superman, and then some part of him imprinted onto the original Superman and got his powers back.
Yep.
So anyway, Superman, Lois, and John go to the Fortress of Solitude to, like, check him out, see what's going on with him.
Well, they
and
get,
of course,
an alert or something?
No, they're going to go to help John, to have the Kryptonian machines check out John and see what's wrong with him. And when they get there, Eradicator's there, and Superman's like, Eradicator! And just starts punching him. And, by the way, the New 52, Superman had his own Krypto, Superdog, who lives at the Fortress. So just so you know,
what, Superman just left the Krypto there by himself last time he was there?
There's a big bag of dog food that's just laying out.
He flies back and forth to take care of Krypto. Krypto is a pretty self-sufficient animal.
Okay.
So anyway, he kicks the shit out of Eradicator, and Eradicator's like, "Stop! I'm here to protect Kryptonian biology." And Superman's like, "Oh,
well, I do that by sucking your soul out and taking your life."
He doesn't find that until later, but. No, he actually, and what engenders him to Superman is that, like, during their big Superman fight, parts of the Fortress are falling down, and then a big beam's about to crush John and Lois, and then the Eradicator protects them.
Okay.
And Superman's like, oh. So then they put John into the Kryptonian measuring machine, and they check him out.
They get John out of there, and then he drops it on Lois anyway, because he's like, I don't care about her.
Right. Well, you're not too far off, but anyway, the point being... they check him out, and they're testing him, and they don't find anything. But Eradicator gives his backstory about who he is, which I just gave to you.
Okay.
And then...
including the soul-sucking part?
Well, yeah. Well, because he's like a robot, like policeman. You know, he's doing that for criminals and stuff.
It's like, this is what we're supposed. This is how we treat criminals in Krypton.
Yeah, and Superman's
Sorry
like,
if it's like
look,
messed up according to your.
There's 2
Earth
Kryptonians,
morals.
and neither one of them are committing any Kryptonian crimes.
Well,
so
actually,
they should be fine.
It's
Right.
a Kryptonian crime to leave the planet Krypton for a long period of time.
So you're under arrest.
arrest.
No,
I'm gonna have to suck your
but
soul.
there is a crime against Kryptonian biology to intermix with other species, and because half of John is human, he's technically a criminal, and so
Just by existing?
yes, and so the Eradicator's like, we need to preserve the Kryptonian like bloodline. I'm glad that you procreated, but we've got to remove the human half. So, and then Superman's like, no.
Get away from my son, you soul-sucking freak!
Yeah, so then they get into a big fight,
Right.
and as he's about to suck John into himself,
Yeah.
Krypto jumps into the way and gets sucked into Eradicator instead, and
Oh.
he is no more. But his cape remains, and so Superman's like, fuck that, and just kicks the shit out of Eradicator, and John is like really sad that like
Yeah, like Krypton's
he's now
dead.
lost 2 pets,
Yeah.
one of which was a super pet, and he picks up the Krypto cape, and he's just really sad about it, and then he puts it on. And he wears it, thus completing his Superboy costume, and then helps his dad fight the Eradicator.
How do they beat Eradicator? What do? They just destroy him? Or
That's the whole fight of this series. Is
Wow.
after Superman and Superboy both punch his head off,
Wow.
all the souls that he's collected blast out of him.
What?
Oh,
Yeah, thousands upon
shit.
thousands of Kryptonian souls blast out of Eradicator.
Is this somehow
criminals.
like the
Well-
scene in Ghostbusters when they
Yeah, it's-
released the containment?
yeah.
gun?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly like that.
He was a walking, talking containment.
Yeah, and in
That's
fact,
it.
like, it's a blast that you can kind of like see from far away. Like,
Okay.
but anyway, so this happens, and
So that happened.
so that happens, and Superman's like, "Holy crap!"
So what does that mean? I mean, what are the souls? Can they touch things? Or
Well,
they just float around?
they just kind of float around. They're really kind of like trying to get their bearings because they've been encased in him since the demise of Krypton,
right.
which was like a really long time.
So their bodies
And by
are
the way-
destroyed, so there's nowhere to go.
Exactly. And some of them actually try to like go into Superman because he's technically Kryptonian.
Yeah.
And so they're like,
it's like no.
he's
no.
like, duh. And they're like, oh, well, you're not a. Well, what's going on here? And as that happens,
Do they make people's like faces melt and
no,
explode?
no, they just fly around, and it's just kind of like they're just kind of flying around, and it's kind of terrifying. And then like they start to like talk to Superman. They're just like, we're broken, and we're like we're lost. Help us! And they just want Superman to help them. And he's like, you're free
He's like,
now.
all right, I will suck you all.
Right? No, he's like, you're all free. Like it's okay.
Just
And he
go away.
well, he's like he's trying to like impart some wisdom that his father gave to him, like John Kent, like his adoptive father, about like where you go when you die.
Oh,
And he's
okay.
just like, your souls are free. Like just you can go. Like you don't have to stay here anymore.
where are they supposed to go?
Well, like that's up to them. You know, like the idea is that like
Is
we
this
don't
what
know where we
normally
go.
happens to Kryptonians when they die? Their souls
Well,
float around.
here's the thing: is that normally their souls aren't removed from their body preemptively before they
Right.
die, so nobody really knows where their soul's supposed to go, and neither do
so
they.
his wisdom from Krypton may not even
No, his
be
wisdom
relevant
from
to them.
Earth.
Well, from Earth. Oh, I see. His Earth.
Yeah, his adoptive father.
I thought you were talking about his dad from
He doesn't.
Krypton.
No,
It's
he's
like-
not giving him fucking. He doesn't know what
Yeah.
Kryptonian religion says. I mean, he
Okay.
does.
Well,
but,
he has
like,
access to the
Fortress of
computer.
Solitude.
The Fortress
yeah.
of Solitude.
Well, he doesn't talk about it. So
It's morose.
the point is, it's supposed to be inspiring. He's like
Right.
saying to them, like, nobody knows where we go when we die. So like, that's up to you.
Right.
And so they're like, that's cool, like, thanks. And then the Eradicator shows back up and he repaired himself, and he's like, nope, and just sucks all the souls back in.
Oh no!
And then he basically just starts chasing down Superman. He's like, shit. Like, Eradicator will fuck up. And by the way, the battle takes them all the way to Metropolis, and so people are now in danger.
Oh, jeez. Yep.
And so as Superman is battling with the Eradicator, some of the souls haven't been sucked in, and they're like, look, we know what to do. Like, we're willing to help you. And so Superman's like, cool, that's great, thanks.
You gotta suck us,
Ow.
though.
Well, a couple of them, like, wind up exploding themselves in the way of Eradicator. So I guess they, like, cease to exist to distract
Oh.
him and give him enough time so that Superman winds up finding a submersible, putting Lois and John into it, and then flying to the moon. Where
With the
he can...
submersible?
Yeah, well, that way Lois and John won't, like, asphyxiate in space.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
He's taking him to the moon for a reason.
for a reason, yes.
Okay.
Well, because, number one...
That seems super
There's no
dangerous
place
if their
on
vessel
Earth.
cracks.
Well, yeah, but he's got it covered. So, like, the the fact is, because there's no place on Earth that he can fight the Eradicator and not put innocents in danger, he's like, I'm going to go to the moon. Plus, there's this cool base on the moon that Batman built as a secondary Bat cave.
Really?
Yeah, and Superman found it using his X-ray vision, and so he brings them into it, and then opens them up and lets them out.
I'm sorry, there are already bats there?
They're like cyber bats that Batman has as like a defense grid.
You're saying I need them.
Yeah. Awesome. And Lois like, God, I hate bats.
God damn it, Batman.
God damn it, Batman. Really? Robot bats? So then Superman's like, okay, this is where you should be safe. Because also, Eradicator didn't see us go to the moon. He doesn't know you're in this moon base. So just stay here, and I will fight the Eradicator. But then the Eradicator shows up anyway.
It's like, I followed you. I just looked at you. And watched
Fight him with the robats.
Yeah. Get them, little bats. Superman is battling the Eradicator, and then the Eradicator's like, okay, acceptable losses. And then he sucks Superman into himself.
Oh.
Like all of Superman.
Just his whole person, just like Krypto.
Wait, not just his soul?
Nope, his whole body.
He can do that too?
Yep.
Where does it go?
It goes into like a plane of existence that is within the Eradicator.
Oh, okay.
So, and he meets all the souls there. But he ingests Superman, and as far as Lois and John are aware, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh. He just got sucked.
Because, like, they just assumed Krypto died too, so, like, he's dead. He's in there. And so the Eradicator's like, well, now that he's gone, I definitely have to make you wholly Kryptonian, so I gotta remove your human component.
Right.
And so he winds up, like, chasing after John, and while he's chasing John, Lois is looking around the Batcave to find something that she can use to protect her son. Right. And she finds this Hellbat armor. And this is actually in continuity for New 52. Batman built a mech suit that can replicate the powers of the Justice League that he used to fight Darkseid so that he could bring Damian, who had been dead and captured by Apocalypse, back.
Right.
And so...
And he put that on the moon.
And he left it on the moon when he was done.
And Lois is piloting it.
So Lois puts it on, and then she fights the Eradicator.
That is goddamn cool!
And it's pretty damn cool. And she's like, get away from my son!
You bitch!
You poked the mama bear! Let's do this! Yeah, and we got a fucking aliens scene. So she's fighting it.
She's got a little heads-up display like Iron Man.
Like Iron Man, yeah. Superman is in the Eradicator talking to the other souls, and the souls are like, we're gonna go into you and give you the power of, like, 1 million Kryptonian souls to fight the Eradicator.
Okay, but souls don't have any power, so...
Well, they do. So they...
These are Kryptonian souls, so yeah.
Yeah, so they jump into him, and then he blasts out of the Eradicator's mouth.
He's carrying his dog, right?
No.
No, we didn't bring the dog back?
We don't see the dog.
But the dog was in him.
The dog was in him.
What are the souls doing?
They're just amplifying his power.
Oh.
And so he just blasts the Eradicator like...
Is he just glowing
because you can see, like... Yeah, he's glowing more, mostly.
Okay.
The Eradicator gives him a bunch of bullshit about how, like, John's a mistake, and he shouldn't be here, he's an anomaly, and blah, 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 and, like, you tainted the bloodline, and stuff like that. Yeah. And Superman's like, fuck you, you stupid robot. Like, you don't know shit.
Shut up.
Yeah, fuck you. So he just blasts the shit out of him. And then, as, like, the souls are blasting out of Superman and the Eradicator, he then calls to Krypto and says, heal. And Krypto's mouth, like, gouges out the chest of the Eradicator. And then he, like, reaches into the Eradicator and pulls Krypto out, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's just supposed to look really cool.
They succeeded.
Yeah. So then he does, and then Superman and Krypto use their heat vision to blast the husk of Eradicator, and he's, like, annihilated in, like, a kind of nuclear explosion on the moon.
Wait, how does that not kill Lois?
Because they're in the base. They blasted like pretty much like from one end of the moon to the other.
Oh, okay. So they don't destroy Batman's base.
No.
Okay.
Wait, so John doesn't help get rid of the Eradicator?
No.
That's surprising, especially since they set up the
he helped. Everybody helped.
Yeah,
Lois helps. Krypto helps.
It's just surprising because they set the fact up that
he's like stronger than Superman.
Heat vision was stronger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but then now it's not.
No, he needs to protect his son. Like we needed the idea is that I think Tomasi's thinking like we need an adventure where Superman wins.
Yeah.
Like people have been waiting to see Superman win for a while.
They established that his powers are weakened because he fell out of a tree and like.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that he is kind of like fucked up, but he gets better. So then it's actually kind of cool because like as Eradicator's being eradicated, the Eradicator's like you don't understand like the House of L, and he's like the House of L will be maintained by John, and then kills him. And then all the souls form into the crest of the House of L, and then dissipate into the universe.
Why does the Eradicator care about the House of L?
He's just because he's saying like you've doomed your own legacy.
Oh,
and he's
like you're all that's left.
Yeah,
and
he's
I
like,
was supposed to protect you.
He's like, no, my legacy is my son.
So the Eradicator doesn't care that there's no Kryptonian women. That basically Superman has no choice.
No.
It's like, well, how am I supposed to continue?
He does
the
care.
House of
He's
Hell?
like, you were right to make one, but we have to remove the human component.
Oh,
and he's like, no.
He'll still be alive. He'll just be.
We don't know what would happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
He's just a robot. He's just doing. He can't think about it really.
But because this whole thing happened on the moon, and because Earth has a whole bunch of like satellites, some of which are shooting like footage and stuff.
Okay.
They all see Superman like fight this big monster.
Okay.
And then Superman like readjusts this like lunar rover that has some fucking camera on it, and he's like,
"Hello,
hey everybody, I'm Superman, and I'm here to protect you." Like he establishes himself as Superman.
Okay.
Show us the dog.
Yeah, no, the dog. He makes the dog like sit on the dead body of the Eradicator. But
and also take a shit on it.
Right. So then he buries the Eradicator on the moon. They leave the fucking.
I thought the Eradicator blew up.
Well, like
nuclear explosion.
His energy exploded or something. But like, there's still like this dried
like
up
New
husk
52
of him.
Superman.
Yeah.
Well, he's a robot.
Here's the thing.
Why didn't he just blow up into like pieces?
Because it's like because it's Kryptonian technology,
it's,
and also it's like it's
like
a little bit of a bio.
It's biomechanical or
yeah, or whatever.
Yeah,
got it.
It's bullshit.
It's like if you incinerated RoboCop, there'd still be kind of a skeleton in there.
Now, why are the people of Earth happy about this? Do they even know what the fuck is going on?
They don't, but they do see like an infinitely powerful being that was obviously fucking things up over in Metropolis be defeated by Superman.
Okay.
And Superman's back.
And Superman's back.
Right.
Not their Superman, but a Superman. And then, like, just for fun, they also, like, give him the key to the city, and they have a ticker tape parade. Like, they're just... The world is, like, relieved that Superman is back.
That he's back, yeah.
And then, they go home, and then Superman, like, gives John a talking to about, like, how... The idea was that originally Superman had been operating the shadows for so long that, like... That was his plan. And he's like, I don't have a plan for, like, being Superman. Now that I am the only Superman, like, I don't know what the next course of action is. Like, I don't want to be public about it. And then through being Superman, he winds up being public anyway.
Right.
And he realizes that, like, Superman is a public figure because the world needs him to be. And so, as such, he's like, and I can't hide my son from the world either. So then he takes John and he goes to the Watchtower and he breaks in because he doesn't have clearance because he's not technically a member of the Justice League.
Right.
Whereas Batman and Wonder Woman are. And he's like, hey,
That's
guys,
funny.
I want to introduce you to my son, Superboy. And it's cute because Wonder Woman's like, yay! And Batman's like, no.
Yeah.
I was going to introduce my son.
Yeah, and later they will do a series called Super Sons where John and Damian, like, team up.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's good despite the fact that I hate Damian.
Right.
And because of the New 52 DC Rebirth retcon, now this because they spend so much time after this and during this through Action Comics, through the new series Trinity, making this Superman trustworthy in the eyes of this New 52 world, right? Like Batman and this Superman have to go on adventures together so they can get acquainted, so they can see each other eye to eye, despite the fact that this Batman is like, you're not my friend. My friend is dead.
Right.
And you are an older version of my friend. That's not the same thing.
Right.
So this Superman's like,
I don't even know you.
Superman's like, you're not my friend. My friend and I have like decades of history together, and you're just some jackass who looks just like him.
But I'm willing to put in the effort.
Yeah, exactly. And so they do, and then they retcon it anyway, so that all that is moot because they were always friends. Moving on, like, hey, either have it this way or that way, and they're like, no, but like you understand, people really didn't like Convergence. I know that's not the reason, but it really feels like it because everything is tied in with Convergence.
Can I ask, were there different artists working on this book?
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, it seemed to jump around a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
During the book.
No, Doug Mankey drew it, Gleason drew it, Jorge Jimenez drew it, like there's 3 different artists working on this book.
Okay, that's why.
And the reason why that was is so that the book would come out every 2 weeks.
Oh wow! Okay.
No
so
delays.
Like throwing it out,
and it came
not like throwing it out.
No,
like
but
garbage.
Like, it
but
came out like
because they wanted to like establish Superman's back,
and
Superman,
that was the
old
Rebirth
Superman.
publishing line was these core titles are going to come out twice a month.
They're going to come out on time,
frequently, more frequently, and for $1 less.
Okay, nice.
So it's not. It's
instead
no surprise
of getting
the DC
$4 a month, we're going to get $6 a month from 2 titles.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Smart.
And it worked out. But Superman, Son of Superman is a great story, I think. You gotta get through a lot of continuity bullshit.
Yeah.
But if you're just like, old Superman is here, the fake Superman died, and he's just trying to make good in this world, that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Especially if you don't know that a grand retcon is on the horizon that makes it so that they were always here.
Right.
So,
which kind of does a lot of
the character building.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, especially Marvel fans, they're like, this is the anti One More Day, where it's like,
Right.
hey, your flagship character can be married and have a kid, and it turns out that like sales will quadruple.
Well, yeah, if your character is a Boy Scout,
Yeah,
who's
Spider-Man,
I'm going to be a father.
I argue Spider-Man is as much of a Boy Scout as Superman.
Yeah, but he's funny. You can't be funny when you're a dad. You tell terrible jokes.
You just have to
some of those are
transition
pretty
to
funny.
telling dad jokes.
Yeah, he does in the Renew Your Vows ongoing series. And it's fun. Because one would argue that Spider-Man's been making dad jokes for probably the last 70 years.
What? No!
Yeah. Listen, I'm a hardcore Spider-Man fan, and even I admit that he was a jokester like that. But anyway, yeah, this is a great series. Pick it up. It's in the description box down below. You can grab this first volume. Get them all, because they're terrific. Action Comics, by the way.
Wait.
Not written by Gleason and Tomasi, but still, it's by Dan Jurgens, who actually introduced Superman into the New 52 universe. This Superman. Still great.
Did we somehow tie up what happens with the dairy farmer and the fact that he's poisoning John?
That's part of the ongoing
that's like-
story of
yeah,
Superman.
that's just briefly
That's
touched
now
on.
finally being addressed. It's actually going to be done in a book that came out this week when this episode airs.
Okay, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, Batman, like, actually, he's like, how long has John been drinking this milk? And Superman's like, since we moved here. And he's like, and he can't fly, you say? And he's like, yeah.
What else has he been doing since he's been
So
here?
I'm going to go to that dairy
He's
farmer's
been
house.
eating this wheat,
Yeah.
and he's been picking these apples off
Right.
of these trees.
Yeah. No, he goes to the dairy farmer's place, and the dairy farmer like has glowing eyes, and he knocks Batman out, and you're like, oh no! Things are finally coming to a head. Who is Kate? Who's the grandpa? We'll find out in the next volume of Superman. So maybe we'll get to it. Who knows?
Kind of excited about that.
Yeah, right? It's cool. That's the thing. And you could just jump on board and read it and find out, because I didn't spoil much of anything.
No, not at
So
all.
check it out. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
Now, Ben.
Thanks a lot for watching.